Hope you're having an awesome day. Welcome back to the 47th day of the vlog. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to interrupt it right here and talk about my current vlogging setup that I'm filming with right now. I'm going to discuss, some of the pros and cons of it and why I think it's a good camera for vlogging and why I think maybe you shouldn't get it for vlogging, depending on what you want to do. But anyways, without further ado, into not a camera review, but just more of a camera pros and cons for vlogging, or at least the specific setup I have. So, yeah. Hey everybody, what's up? Don't mean to interrupt the regularly scheduled programming, but I wanted to talk about my vlog setup because I've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of questions about it. I'm not going to talk about the camera I'm filming myself right now, the Blackmagic and the Ursa 4.6K, or my drone, just the main setup I use, to record my face on a daily basis, and what some of the pros and cons are with this setup. Mainly pros, and I'm going to get right into them. Biggest pro is definitely the image quality. The sharpness and the quality that you get out of this camera is incredible. It can film 4K and 30 FPS, and I film everything in 4K and then I downscale to 1080. Mainly just because my upload speeds at my apartment here in Lawrence are not super slow, but they're slow enough to where 4K processing takes so long. When I'm back at my house, I upload in 4K because I can upload a 4K 10-minute video in like 10 minutes and it's not that big of a deal. But here I shoot in 4K and then downscale to 1080, and then you get that extra sharpness. But the quality coming out of this camera is absolutely incredible and insane for the price point. This camera with the kit lens right now on B&H is going for $600, which is insane. And if you're looking to get into video, this is definitely the starter camera that I recommend. It also takes some pretty good stills as well. Back into the camera quality. Shoots 4K 30 FPS. I shoot all my stuff with 4K 30 FPS. And it's beautiful quality. You've seen it in the sharpness in my videos. Hopefully you think the quality is good. I think it's really good. It's also rocking some other frame rates you can do for slow motion. It can do 1080 in 60 FPS. So if you want to do somewhat slow motion. It doesn't have anything higher than that, which is a little disappointing, but it's still got some pretty good slow motion. If you're looking for higher slow motion capabilities than 60 FPS, I definitely recommend the GH4, which this is basically a little brother to the GH4, but the GH4, can do 96 frames a second in 1080 and a higher bit rate. The GH4 really isn't that much different than this camera. If you can sacrifice, having that frame rate, a headphone jack and a couple other features, then you should be okay to just, pick up the G7 if you're on a budget and you don't want to drop all the money on the GH4. But anyways, off the GH4 topic, I could talk about camera stuff for so long. I'm such a nerd. Another pro to this camera system is how wide angle it is, which I've talked about previously in my vlogs. I have the Metabone speed booster adapter on here, which takes this traditionally 2.0 crop micro four thirds sensor and it brings it back to something more like a Super 35 sensor. So when you pair that with my 11 through 16 millimeter Tokina lens, it's a really killer combo that I'll show you right here. And you've obviously seen in my vlogs, is it's just super wide angled, and I see a lot of vloggers, their stuff is not bad, but it's around this focal length, but when you bring in that super wide, and you just can see so much of the environment, it's so immersive. I don't know why I'm still talking to this camera, I'll put that down. But when you see that immersive point of view, it's just a whole different style of vlogging, and I really like it in that matter. Another feature about this camera that I really love is the internal time lapse. It just has all the typical intervalometer settings, and just having that built into a $600 camera is super incredible and something that Canon's never done. And Canon just has been dropping the ball on video, and I don't think they really care that much. If you're into any kind of time-lapse shooting, don't overlook that feature because it's a big deal. Another thing I like about this setup is I have the Rode Video Mic Go on here, and it's super nice because it's all phantom powered and you don't have to worry about ever having a battery or anything like that. And the sound quality is good enough, at least I think. You're not listening to it right now, you're listening to the blue Snowball mic, but no one's really complained about the audio quality in my vlogs. I think it's all good. Another feature, obviously a pro, is the articulating screen. A definite necessity if you're vlogging, you have to have the flip out screen to see what the heck's going on. Those are definitely all the pros. I probably missed some, and if you have any more questions, definitely hit me up. But moving on to the cons, and I would say one of the only cons with this camera is the autofocus. And I don't want to say the autofocus is bad, because if you don't have the speed booster and you're just running native lenses onto the G7, the autofocus is blazingly fast and it's really good. But since I have the speed booster to open up and make it essentially a bigger sensor, that takes away some of the autofocus, and it can autofocus, but it's really slow and you can't do it continuously, so I can't really autofocus during video. If that's a deal breaker for you, you might want to look elsewhere, because it's one of the only ways to get a super wide field of view on this camera. Panasonic does sell some super wide lenses, but they're really pricey. So this is one of the cheapest routes, and you do have to give up that autofocus. So if that's a big deal breaker to you, then you might just have to look elsewhere, like I was kind of saying. Also, another thing I was going to talk about is, and why I love this setup, is generally the G7 is not a super good low light camera. I wouldn't push it anywhere past ISO 1600. Even at 1600, you're kind of getting up there and the image starts to get a little washed out. The speed booster takes this 11:16 lens and makes it, an 11:16 1.8 instead of a 2.8. You increase by a full 1 1/3 stops of light, and that just really is super powerful, and you can get some low light shots that typically you wouldn't be able to with the G7. So it's not a beast in low light, but the speed booster definitely makes it a bit more of a beast. Those are some of the features, some of the pros and cons. If you have any other questions, like I said, just hit me up down below and I will answer. I do answer all comments if they're serious questions, or if you have any, if you're curious about anything. I hope you liked this little look into my vlogging setup and what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Now back to regular scheduled programming. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just kind of wanted to talk about my vlogging setup again. And if you have any other questions, if you want to see me talk about any of my other equipment, like the Blackmagic 4.6K or the Phantom 4, just hit me up down below. But yeah, back to the vlog. So, slight update. I haven't really done very much vlogging today. I've been working on editing my Mario Meets Minecraft 3 video. I've really been trying to put in some work on that. And I was about to go fly my drone, but I realized it's not raining, but it's kind of cloudy, and I'd hate to risk anything. But actually, I still might do it. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm about to order some pizza, so that's gonna happen. Should I fly my drone? I feel like I would regret it if it started raining, and then I'm like, well, maybe if I flew it low, so I'm gonna do it. Why not? YOLO! YOLO! It's the motto, baby. YOLO. So I plugged in my drone battery last night, obviously because I was planning on flying it today. But you know what the problem with plugging things in is? When they're not plugged into the wall. Feeling when you pick up your pizza and you just have that rush of endorphins that fast food gives you. I'm feeling that right about now. Got large pepperoni and some Parmesan bites because how are you supposed to resist that? I haven't had Domino's / pizza in so long. It's been so. Actually, I might have had Pizza Hut 2 weeks ago. But besides that, it's been a very long time since I've had delivery fast food pizza, so I'm kind of excited. Gonna drive home now. I was thinking about it. I need to get the drone out and fly it because it's getting really dark. I don't want my pizza to get cold. But now I'm getting high in California. Well, I remember everyone telling me it would be too hard. But now my autos turn to friends and Mercy Street turn to Sunset Boulevard. And I remember walking down the train tracks, looking up towards the stars, saying get us out of here as we pass around a bottle full of Jack. A little bit of adrenaline going there. My drone didn't fly away, but it was getting kind of windy and the rain was moving in. I think in some of the shots you could see the lightning in the horizon, so that should be super cool to look at. But yeah, I basically picked getting cool drone shots over fresh pizza, so that's my life. Nobody can stop me. Well, I was so low, but now